One of the things I see the most in the mentoring I'm doing with business acquisitions is just how critical mindset is to the success process. Your self image, your self esteem really is the barometer of how successful you'll be. So, mindset is at the top of the list, and I've been asked, and I'm in the process of putting together a 30-day challenge on mindset, which should help a lot of people towards strengthening that. But I want to read you a Napoleon Hill thought of the day, which came through today. The greatest cure known is work. Emotions are sometimes strange, volatile, and unpredictable. They do not always respond to logic and reason. They do, however, respond to action. If you have an occasional feeling of loneliness, discouragement, or discontent, the best way to kill such negative emotions is to work them to death. Almost nothing is as bad as it first seems, and there's nothing like a hard day's work to put everything in the proper perspective. When you begin to feel negative emotions, dwelling on your misfortunes only makes them worse. Do your best to put them out of your mind and think about more positive, constructive things. Physical labor can help. Choose a task that doesn't require a great deal of concentration, and then focus on accomplishing the task at hand. The sentiment behind that is absolutely true. It's funny, when you meet something that you view as bad news, oftentimes you get a spike of adrenaline, then you get that panic to disappear, and then you begin to think, okay, how can we work through this problem? The same thing happens when you're floundering a little bit on what to do. I always make a point of saying, keep your mind on what you want and off what you don't want. That's mental discipline, certainly, but you will get better and better at being able to control that. While they say here, focus on accomplishing the task at hand and one that doesn't require a great deal of concentration, I'm a big fan of every night looking at your day the next day and writing down those things which will move the needle the most towards your successful conclusion. Hopefully that's a business acquisition that you're working on, if that's the reason you're listening to this, and I suspect it is. And usually put the first task as the one that will move the needle the most. That oftentimes is not the easiest task, but what you're trying to do there is identify those items which are most productive and then work on those first. So, if you're not on my mailing list and you haven't taken our free class, the top 10 objections when acquiring a business, make sure you go over right now to brucewhipple.com and sign up for a free class, and you'll have immediate access and lifetime access to that. So brucewhipple.com, go up to free class and get the top 10 objections when acquiring a business. That'll put you also on the mailing list so that you end up getting the 3 emails that I send each week on tips which relate to the business acquisition process. So, remember that thought for the day. Keep your mind on what you want, off what you don't want, and there is no substitute for action. The other item that we've talked about a lot is kissing frogs, and those that succeed in this business acquisition process are the ones that stay focused the longest and take the most action towards it.